this is our life, you know. Being in this van is our life, and we work from this van, and if that all goes wrong, our entire life, like if we can't fix it, it's like our entire life has to change then. You know, when you put so much into it and you're not ready to stop, you just don't want it to happen, you know. You just think, you just can't believe it. Your entire life is turned upside down potentially. Hello everyone. So we last left you after we handed our little Daisy in to be hopefully fixed, and we are now just in a point of limbo of waiting. So we're going to amuse ourselves in the meantime. We're in a little town called Annaberg-buchholz. I think that's how you say it, or roughly, and it's in the Saxony region of Germany. It's kind of very near the Czech border, and it's in a mountainous area. I think they're called the Ore Mountains. And you know what? For a place to be stuck while we wait for repairs, we could have picked a lot worse, couldn't we?
Aye.
Apart from the fact it's very hilly.
Aye.
We walked very briefly into town last night, and yeah, it's very suddenly steep and it goes up and down like that. So sure, Stephen's gonna love it.
Oh, I didn't love it yesterday.
Well, you didn't love it yesterday, but the sun's shining, maybe you will today.
Aye.
Not likely.
No.
So yeah, we last left you, we're kind of following this video directly on, and I know you're watching this a week later, but you know, please don't think we're like trolling or anything like that. The fact of the matter is, we didn't expect this to happen. We went to Prague and we kind of planned to film something in Czechia at the end of it, but then all that other stuff happened, and then it was a bit like, well, where does it end? You know, we have to have a cut-off point somewhere before the next one begins. So we didn't anticipate any of this. It just made more sense to end it at that point, because once we were here, we knew we were going to go exploring in this little town since we'd have all day. So to add that on to the last video would have just been ridiculous. So here we are. That's why we're here this week, a week later.
And the simple version is we just wanted to play with the editing a bit.
Well, there is that as well, but it's kind of like it was too long. It would have been too long to add that in.
We had to finish it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So here we are. We're going to go and explore this very little pretty town of oh no, wait, it's not called that. Annaberg-buchholz.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
That one.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So we went and got a coffee in the little square. What did you get, Stephen?
Quark balls.
Quark balls, but they're basically like little donuts, aren't they, with nothing in? Quite a little bit underwhelming. But they're nice to dip in coffee. So this town of Annaberg-buchholz, it was a mining town, and it was founded in 1496, so arguably it's not actually old in relative terms compared to a lot of towns, and it was founded because they found deposits of silver in the surrounding mountains, so a mining community built up around it, hence we've got the town we have today. And in the 16th century, a lady here named Barbara Uthman, she was a bit of an entrepreneur, and while obviously a lot of the husbands were doing the mining, she set up a business so the wives could earn some income themselves. So she set up a business that allowed the wives to make money for themselves and their families by making lace. And there's a statue of Barbara in the main square of this town, which kind of celebrates her and I guess what she did for the community here.
A lacy bit.
A lacy bit. What do you mean a lacy bit?
Well, she made lace.
we're just kind of killing time really, aren't we, by dragging Stephen up the most insanely steep hills. I don't know how people drive around here, but they do. It seemed like another part of the town we're in on another hill. But we just came to this viewpoint just because I saw it on the map and thought, why not? It doesn't really, I mean, it's all right. It doesn't, I thought it would be a view of the town, but it's not really. But as viewpoints go, it's quite nice. They've got a little hut there to stand in. Usually a viewpoint is just like, oh look, here's the side of the hill, look out. At least you've got a little, what's it called? I was going to say veranda, but that's not right. What are those things called?
I don't know.
You know, you put them up, mark like
Gazebo.
Gazebo, that's it. You've got a little gazebo to look out on. That's about the most exciting thing we can say about it.
Aye.
Moving on. So we've come to what looks like a sacrificial clearing in the woods. You can sit and watch there at the sides. But no, actually, this is the remnants of the Wettinheim, I think, and it was a fountain that was built to commemorate 800 years of the, is it the Wettin family who ruled Saxony for about that amount of time. Yeah, sorry, we're not very clear on the facts because it was all in German and we tried to translate with our phones, but there used to be a fountain in this region and it was just to celebrate the Wettin family who ruled Saxony for 800 years, and that's all that remains. But as Stephen just said, it kind of just looks like a sacrificial area in the middle of these woods, and ultimately the scene from a horror film. So we've got back to the garage. We've had fun and games today, haven't we?
Oh, we have.
Which bits were broken, Steve? What actually happened?
So the oil leak has been fixed. One of the seals had gone on some part near the oil filter. I can't remember what it was called. So they've cleaned that up and they fixed that, and they fixed the oil sensor. However, the water, part of the water pump system, whatever, there's a water leak basically. So we can keep driving and keep filling up with water, which we don't want to do. But they couldn't order the part. For some reason they couldn't order it for them. I think it's just not a part of their catalogue.
And they did say it was quite urgent, didn't they? They didn't kind of imply that we should be just driving around as normal with this. No, they kind of said go home unless we can get the part. So
Dan's been online and they've kindly allowed us to order it to this shop. So we've ordered what we think is the right part. They've told us the part and the part number. It's been ordered by Amazon. It comes Friday. They're going to ring us, but we don't know whether it's going to end up being the right part because, as we know, these things do happen, don't they? So that's where we're at for now. So if this doesn't work and they take off the old part and it falls apart and this one doesn't work, then I don't know how we're going to get home.
Let's just do one step at a time, shall we? Because hopefully this will work.
And if it works, then we carry on as we are. If it comes and it's not the right part and they see it's not the right part, then we'll just have to just go home. So we're just gonna have to see.
But before we come to that terrible conclusion, let's just keep our fingers and every other bit of our body crossed in however way we can and hope for the best.
I mean, for me it feels a bit too easy for us to be able to find it ourselves. So I don't know whether this is going to work or not, but let's see. Let's just see.
But aside from that, the garage behind us, it's an ATU garage. I think they're a chain here, almost like their version of Quick Fit, but maybe something different, I don't know. They were so helpful, and despite the fact that no one actually spoke English, there was one guy who was really nice who spoke a little bit, which kind of helped things keep flowing a bit. We still somehow managed. So they were really helpful and informative, and put us at ease. So even though we don't really know anything about anything, they still made it feel like a nice experience. It cost us so far about €250 to get that done. I feel like that's kind of standard for part ordering and the work that was involved, which was a few hours. It could have been worse, but it's just a shame that there's something still at the end of it that we now have to deal with. But yeah, ATU in the town we're in, Annaberg, what was it? Buchholz. Annaberg-buchholz. That's the town. They were just lovely. So, and they let us sleep in the car park overnight. I think we said that, which was great. So next step, we're going to find somewhere to sleep for the night, and we've got to wait a few days for the park to come in and just kill some time. So our whole trip is upside down once again, like our last foreign trip, but we'll just hang around for a few days. We won't drive too far, and that's it really.
Yeah.
All right, let's just move on.
Let's go.
And if you're wondering, this is the part they said they couldn't order themselves because our vehicle was really old. And I guess they have to use an internal system, because we just found it on the German Amazon site and they let us order it to that address, so that solved that problem. And it only cost a couple of quid really, like £7. But that was the part, and they just said they couldn't do it. So I guess they have their own workings where they're not allowed to outsource things maybe, and they just have to use an internal system. I'm not sure how it works, but fingers crossed we've got the right one. So that's it. It's like a water coolant piece, and I think they only need part of that, but you have to order the whole thing. So we found a spot. This is how filling up the tank's going.
Yeah.
And we're both absolutely saturated. I mean, look. The pressure on this thing was absolutely insane. You had to hold it in so tight. Stephen was holding the hose in the van, and I was holding it onto the tap, and at one point it just came off and just was flying everywhere. It's just what we need at the end of this day.
Oh, it's whatever. Whatever, keep throwing it at us, whatever.
Well, be careful what you wish for. You're still holding that hose in there. Do you feel at peace, Steve?
No.
Do you feel a bit more at peace compared to what we were?
No.
Oh.
Ask me in about 3 beers.
Alright.
I mean, I just want to make sure that the van's alright for us to work. Like,
Yeah.
you know, solve the holiday.
Yeah. This is our life. This is our existence. This is how we earn money, like by going to work in the van. Like, without it,
we need it.
Well, despite everything, we still found somewhere to settle for the night. It's not a free air, but it's a paid for air, and you know what? It's actually quite nice. It's very flat. You've got all the services here. It's a little bit pricey, but to be honest, there are toilets here, so really, you know, it still works out less than a campsite, and it's got everything a campsite would have except showers, so it's not too bad. Seems to be in a really nice location, and there's only 2 other vans here and loads of space. You pay via an app, and it's like €14 a night, but then unfortunately, because we got here after 8 o'clock at night, like you could have got here at 11 and it would have charged you €14 because you got here before midnight. So that was unfortunate. And then there's a €2 service charge, so it was actually €16 a night. We've paid for 2 because we want to stop moving for a bit. We don't want to be driving Daisy around. We don't want to be moving around anymore for a while. We just want to sit and just take our feet off the gas, Stephen especially, because we've been driving rickety old Daisy, bless her, up and down some very mountainous roads. So we're just kind of like just stopping still. I'll probably put a video together while we're here. Yeah, let's see what happens. We're a bit worried. We can't help but worry, because as Stephen just said, this is our life, you know. Being in this van is our life, and we work from this van, and if that all goes wrong, our entire life, like if we can't fix it, it's like our entire life has to change then. So what do we do, you know? And it's just like we'd have to rethink everything. If we can't fix the van, our entire life would have to be rethought. And let's hope that doesn't happen. I think we always knew doing this that sometimes it's like everything hangs in the balance, or could hang in the balance, as it were. Because you're in a van, and it's like, it's not quite like a house, you know. Things can happen to a house where you could no longer be able to live in it for some reason, but in a van it's more possible for many different reasons, and it happens to people all the time. And the longer you have a van, the more likely it is that actually something is going to happen that stops you in your tracks. But you know, when you've put so much into it and you're not ready to stop, you just don't want it to happen, you know? You just think, you just can't believe it. Your entire life is turned upside down, potentially. Anyway, this is a bit doom-mongering now, isn't it? This could all be fine. This could all be fine. Never mind this trip. The main thing is Daisy gets treated. Yeah, that we can get home. And just carry on with our life. Let's just take one step at a time. So this morning's fun and games is I was about to go for a run, and I went to put on my running shoes, which have been ever reliable, and the lace is snapped. I've pulled them out now because we're trying to fix it, but the lace just completely snapped halfway down. So I don't know how we're going to resolve this. Oh, more fun. I do have my walking shoes though, so I might just have to move the lace from that into this. And if I do put a video together today, I fully expect Stephen to wander into town and bring back tasty baked treats.
I feel like I need a running egg sandwich today.
That sounds like it should be on the agenda too.
Tomato sauce.
And a bit of cake, but not together.
Also, I need to look for another fan because I think my fan's about to break. So it's just another broken thing, isn't it?
Well, why not add to the list?
Aye.
Anyway, enough of this. I need to fix my bloody lace so I can go running. Just sitting here now.
Stop filming then.
Alright, I'll press stop. Right, it's clouding over already, so I'm going to get this run out the way. So, I don't even know where I'm going. No idea. We'll just make it up and hopefully I won't get lost.
Aye.
So I'm just going to do that thing now where we do the little thing, you start filming, I wave, and I just disappear off camera and come back and grab it again, alright? Alright then, see you later.
Bye.
So this has been today in a nutshell. I did go for a run, I didn't just make it up. In fact, I went for 2 today, because mostly I've been sitting down, working on this little thing. It's been a total nightmare. The laptop keeps crashing and stuttering, so it's just been really frustrating. I think we need a bit of an upgrade. Like with most things in our van, everything needs an upgrade.
Meanwhile, I've eaten cake.
So today we have a twist on the condensed mushroom soup tin pasta, where we add broccoli and some red peppers. It will be the same, but I somehow feel like the broccoli is going to really add to it. Somehow I think that looks a little bit more exciting with some broccoli in, even though it still looks yellow like the last time we filmed this. I don't know why it looks yellow, because it definitely doesn't look like that in real life.
It's got piss in it.
Stephen said it's got piss in it. Just to keep the classiness levels up here. By the way, there's no piss in it. Well, bloody hell, I hope not. Well, it's day 2 on our little air and no one else is here. We're completely alone. It's absolutely wonderful. The sun's out, it's very still, it feels very blissful. And we're just going to have another little day pottering around, doing jobs. Stephen's doing some washing up, which is lovely. I'm sure he's enjoying every second. I got my desk set up here to do a bit more work. And that's it really. I'm going to do some exercises in a minute. And the part we ordered from Amazon Germany has now been dispatched. So the next step has happened, and that's all we can do it by, just taking each day as it comes. So far so good. And there is absolutely tons of space on this air. And we're the only ones here. As we said before, it was a little bit pricey, but you do have pretty much everything, including toilets. So it's not too bad. This is your fresh water point and your electric point. We just keep popping in euros as and when. Up there is a lovely little park that you can walk around, and you've got all the countryside beyond this. Got your usual grey waste facilities, so that's good because you can drive over that one as well, and toilet waste. But best of all about these toilets, so women's and men's, that took a while to get used to when there was no symbol. Heron is men. They've got the sound of birds singing, playing very loudly, constantly on a loop, in the toilet. And I'm assuming that's so you can go to toilet in peace, have a little bit of privacy maybe if someone else comes in. Sound sensitivity and all that. How nice. It's actually really calming as well. It's quite nice to listen to in the morning. So yeah, toilets with the sound of birds singing to accompany your daily routine, shall we say. And this is how to undo all of those exercises in one fell swoop. Stephen's made breakfast and it's eggy bread with other bits and bobs chucked in. It looks very nice and I can't wait and I don't care. I mean, I did the exercises, I've earned it, right? I did offer to help Stephen with his, but he's insisting he's doing it solo.
Tied it up later.
Unfortunately, it sounds like the razor's dying just as he started. So we may have to hold that idea till later. It's literally dying as soon as you started. So there we go, another cheap van life haircut. You know what? I know it's quite extreme compared to having the hair, but I do really like it and it is much easier to deal with on a day-to-day basis in a van. The only mirror we've got in the van is like a small handheld round mirror, so you can't even really do your hair properly anyway. So this is very convenient. Stephen's on the beard. Seems to be a day of removing hair. Always exciting stuff. Especially when you're doing it in the middle of a car park or wherever, as has often been the case when we've been shaving. A lay-by, the usual stuff. Well, Stephen did start, but after charging the shaver for an hour, it already sounds like it's dying. It takes absolutely hours to charge that thing up, I think. I don't know why, because you wouldn't think so with something that small, but maybe they're all like that.
Yeah, maybe.
So now he's got half of a beardy kind of thing going on.
No, I've done the beard really.
He got a bit of a tash.
Yeah, I'll have to get rid of that a little bit more, but
Quite like it actually. Keep the tash. It's a bit gingerified.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
It's about one that's got colour left in my beard now. It's got ginger.
Have you seen mine? Hello.
Well, we're getting old.
We're getting old. So while we're waiting for the shaver to charge up, which takes ages, we're having a little wander into the town, which I haven't had a chance to see yet. I think Stephen's wandered as far as Aldi, is it?
Aye.
That's about it, and I think we'll do that on the way back to get the bits we need, because we are going to move tonight and try and find a free spot somewhere, because we spent 3 nights here now, so obviously it gets quite costly over time. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this video is going to be.
Rubbish.
It is going to be rubbish. We have no idea what's going to be in it. We're just in limbo because we're still waiting for this part. It was supposed to arrive today or tomorrow and we haven't heard anything yet, so I'm going to guess it's going to arrive tomorrow, which is a Saturday, which means
We've got to hang around till Monday.
we've probably got to hang around till at least Monday before they can do it. So yeah, we'll just see what happens, but we can just spend some time exploring this area, can't we?
Right.
Once we've moved now, video's done, so we can go off out and have a look at things. But right now we're just having a little wander. I don't think the town's it's just a little town, so we probably won't show you much of it, but it's nice to stretch the legs, get some fresh air. It's very hot and it's very peaceful. It's been nice not to move, isn't it? There's always that.
Yeah.
You know, don't get us wrong, we love the travelling about in a van, but it is nice to sit still for a bit and not have to worry about moving every single day and packing things up. But in more important news, we have noticed that the oil leak has completely stopped, so hopefully, but we haven't seen anything. Yeah, it seems good, and whatever they fixed, which they did tell us, what was it again?
I can't remember.
Something about the oil filter. Anyway, what the fix they did appears to have stopped the problem. So there is that. It's just the other problem. But, you know, that's some good news.
Aye. And she did sound She did sound better when we drove her here, even though I'm still worried about the smell of diesel, but diesel is heavy oil, so of course it's going to smell the same if it's burning, I guess.
Yeah. No, I don't know either. I forgot after I did my mechanics course, you see.
Yeah.
It's all just gone. Right, we're back. Stephen's on his hair run now. Imagine if the charge just stops like that.
Yeah, that would be a bit unfortunate.
That would be interesting. So these are our van life tips for a great haircut. Just cut it all off. Just shave the lot. Good morning, or guten Morgen, as they might say here. We fast forwarded a couple of days. We're on a little kind of site. It's like a car park really, but you pay a bit to stay here in a little town. And we're still in the Saxony region in Germany, in the Ore Mountains, or Ore. And the part we were waiting to be delivered to the garage, I think we said, that I ordered from Amazon Germany, it didn't arrive, or at least it hasn't yet. And it's now Sunday, so the 2 days it was supposed to arrive, the Friday and the Saturday, we've heard nothing. The garage hasn't rung us. We tried to ring the garage on Saturday, but I think they'd already shut by that point. So now we're just kind of in limbo. It's a bit like, oh my God, you know, because we didn't even know if this part was going to work, if it was going to be able to be fixed properly, and now it's not even there as far as we know. Tricky thing is, like, it might be at the garage and nobody's rung us. That could be a possibility, so we'd have to wait till tomorrow to ring, but chances are it's just not been sent yet, or something's gone wrong. I don't know. It's very frustrating. We really are just in limbo now, and you know, it's all right. We're in a nice region, but we've been told we shouldn't be driving too much or too far, although they did tell us we could drive home very slowly to get it fixed, so I guess it's perfectly okay to still travel about to some degree. But yeah, we're like, what do we do now? There's a VW garage down the road, and we're thinking of going there tomorrow to ask and see if we can navigate that and the language, and see if we can explain the problem there. They might have the part themselves because it's a VW garage and it's a VW part. I don't know. Guten Morgen, Steve. Or whatever Steve is in German.
Guten Morgen. Actually, it's 12 o'clock now, so that's not actually correct. It's Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Because it's the daytime.
We've kind of sat here whiling away the hours.
Aye.
I couldn't really sleep last night. I kind of woke up from about 3 until about 7:30 this morning. So yeah, I did eventually go back to sleep, but woke up late, and so did you.
Aye. And that's all there is to say.
We'll just sit here filming in real time while we wait for the part to not arrive.
Dan's going to go off and do some exploring, aren't you?
I think so. I think we need to get out and do something.
Well, I'm just going to sit on my bum.
Well, if that makes you feel better, then you do that.
It does.
Okay. So right now we're in a little town called Schwarzenberg, and there's lots of these sort of little random towns dotted around these mountains in the Saxony region, all kind of following the Czech border. So it's not far from the town where the garage is, where we were supposed to get this part delivered. I'm going to have a little look round. It looks, I'm not going to say like really pretty, but there is a nice castle on the hill overlooking the town, and there's a few walks up and down, and it is kind of like that, which is why Stephen is probably very much like, no, I'm not going. And to be fair, I don't really blame him, because it is really hot at the moment, but I feel the need to get out. I need to do something, so let's go and have a little look at Schwarzenberg. So this space behind me, obviously it's just an empty space right now, but you can get a lift in here to the top to see the castle. I forget the name of these sorts of lifts, but you see them all the time in the UK, don't you, where they go up like steep cliff faces. They're often associated with seaside towns. But what's different about this one is the fact that it's kind of like automated. You do it yourself, so you put 50 cents in the machine, and I guess it kind of cools the lift down. We saw it working yesterday, and you get in, maybe it just does it by itself, or you just press a button and it takes you to the top. So that's quite interesting. And 50 cents ain't bad, is it? However, we're not going to get the lift. We're going to do it the difficult way. We're going to climb to the top because Stephen's not with me, so he can't moan about it. Lovely.
Aye.
Take it all back. Schwarzenberg is actually very, very, very pretty. We just missed the entire main part of the town when we had a wander yesterday because it's kind of situated almost on a hill where the castle was, and we just kind of circled around it at the bottom. So most of the main bits up there are on the hill. It really reminded me of Spain. Some of the colours, like the white church and castle and just the colourful buildings, the cobbled streets, it just had that Spanish feel to it. So that was quite nice. Yeah, lovely little distraction. Now I can just sit here and continue to worry with you about the part that hasn't arrived.
Aye.
We're kind of debating whether to move around the corner because there's a free spot, and we don't really need any services at the moment. However, both of us would like a shower. So that might be on the agenda, but we don't know where.
We don't really want to drive.
We don't want to drive too far. We're also thinking, hopefully this part arrives tomorrow or Tuesday, and then we go from there. I don't know. See, look, this is it. I've come back and now we're just worrying again.
I think we should just go for a quick walk and see if this other spot's going to be any good for us before we do anything else.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's go.
Welcome today, whatever it is, on this merry-go-round of waiting for the part for the van. News update. So it didn't arrive over the weekend as we said, and then what happened, we rang the garage this morning, it's a Monday, and they then called us back, and then they said it had been delivered but sent back or something. And I think, again, bear in mind there was a language barrier, but we think it obviously arrived at the weekend or out of hours and then was sent back to the post office or whatever. But they said to me at the garage, obviously, can you order the part again? And we said, yes, okay, we'll do that. But in our heads, hopefully, we've already paid for this part. Now, it wasn't particularly expensive, but hopefully we can still get this original part delivered. If not, we will order it again. But what it actually says now on my order is it says running late, but will be delivered or something like that, wasn't it, Stephen? Yeah. So it never said that even yesterday. So our hope is that it has been sent back to a German post office of sorts, a mail delivery office, and then it's maybe going out again today or tomorrow. But I don't know, because back home it doesn't usually work like that, does it, Stephen? You normally have to go and collect it.
You can ring up the post office and have it re-delivered.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but they don't do it automatically back home usually, do they?
Not automatically.
So it's normally sent to a post office and you have to go and pick it up if you haven't been able to receive it. So we're thinking maybe it's the same here. So there is a German post office in the town. Hopefully we can go in there and get it sorted. I don't know. It's just ridiculous,
this might
isn't
be
it?
the closest one to that garage anyway.
Yeah. And we're changing our minds now, so we can't go to any post office because we don't have a tracking number. So what we're going to do, I've contacted the seller. It's so difficult because through Amazon, bear in mind it's Amazon Germany, and obviously we're not German and we don't have a German address. And then you try to contact the seller and it does it through an automated service. So I just went through it, just saying, look, you know, we need a tracking number or some kind of indication of what's going on. It says it's out for delivery and will be late, but we know when the garage rang us that it was delivered and went back, so it just feels like we don't really know at all. We could just sit and wait, but that's pointless. We may as well try and find something. But of course we can't ask the post office without a tracking number, so hopefully they'll give us a tracking number from the provider, but if not, at least something to say, oh no, it went out and it's back with the post office and they'll deliver it again this week. Oh god, I don't know, it's so irritating. I know there's bigger problems, you know, we're all right. It's not, there could be a hell of a lot worse that happens to us, and it's a lovely area to be stuck in, I guess. Well, no, it is, but it's just frustrating when it feels like something so simple, you know. The other option we've got is there's a VW garage just down the road, so we're going to drive down there now and see if they have miraculously got the part itself, in which case if they have and they somehow could sell it to us, then we could take it to the other garage. I don't know if it ever works like that, but if they did, we can go down that route. So fast forward again, quick update. Thought we'd do it from a different camera angle this time, just to kind of make things more interesting, you know. Break it up a little bit. We went to the VW garage. Oh my god, I'm so glad we did. It was Stephen's idea. I was a bit unsure to start with because we were juggling something else at the same time, but it was the right thing because after a few difficult things, they can order the part we need for tomorrow. They identified something else because I think we mentioned that several of the garages have mentioned that our engine seems to be leaking diesel, or somewhere does. They also pointed it out, but they said it's just a little thing that needs changing. Was it injector or something?
I don't know.
I don't know, I'm not even going to say the words, but there was something that they need to change, and apparently it wasn't a big job. Anyway, long story short, they looked at it, they put Daisy up in the air, and they can book her in tomorrow to get this water cooler piece fitted and the other diesel problem, and that's for like 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So that is insanely quick. So forget the other part, we're just going to cancel that or just do whatever. Yeah, this is amazing. This is like progress at last, so we might be able to salvage some of what's left of this trip.
I think let's not count our chickens.
No.
It still needs to be done and fixed, and
Yeah.
you know, things obviously break when they're being fixed too, so
Yeah.
I've got that in my head. But that's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah.
Right now, as far as we know, we've got some form of solution and we should be back on the road in a few days.
Yeah.
So for now, well, we've just got today, haven't we? So we're just gonna...
Yeah, it's only today. We've just got the rest of the day. It's already mid-afternoon. So tomorrow, with any luck, we can be on the move again.
No.
Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but there's some positivity on the horizon here.
Aye.
And it's bloody hot. Let's get out.
Aye.
How are your bites, Steve?
Bitey.
Bitey.
Aye.
Bitey bites.
Bitey. One right on the inside of my finger.
They've really gone for you, haven't they?
Beast.
You wake up every morning with all these extra additional bumps on your body.
Got bitten on the sole of my foot. I can't tell you how insanely itchy that was. But anyway, whatever.
They just love your flesh, Stephen.
They do.
They just love you here.
Tasty snack.
The German mozzies are just all over you.
Right.
In the meantime, while we wait for the van to go in tomorrow, we have come back to Schwarzenberg, which is where the garage is anyway. So we've parked up again and we are just settling down and just enjoying the peace, really, because it is very, very quiet and peaceful in these little towns out here. If you're wondering what I'm eating, this strange concoction that looks like it's been swept off
The floor.
something awful, yeah. It's porridge. I had porridge for lunch and it was a case of using things up. So it's one of those vegetable porridge specials that you might have seen me do before, and I had a pack of like carrots, celeriac and leeks, which was like a stew mix, and it wasn't doing anything. It was starting to go like on the turn in the fridge, so I thought let's do something with it. I boiled it up and put it with some porridge, a bit of salt or chicken stock and some parsley on top because I'm sophisticated, and that's it. So not to everybody's taste.
Not mine. Nice.
It's all right. And tonight, while we're in our little limbo, waiting around for the van to be fixed kind of period, I've started to put together another video. And Stephen was on dinner making duties, which all looks very good. What we got, Stephen?
Well, it's the mushroom soup thing again. Obviously with some peppers and garlic and onion. But we put some chicken in it this time with our mushrooms. And some fresh pasta on top, so we didn't have to cook pasta, because somebody mentioned, was it Chris and Dion?
Yeah, Chris and Dion mentioned to us, yeah.
So we put some fresh pasta in, which is obviously more expensive, and the fresh pasta wasn't very good from this shop, so I think we'll see what else we get while we're here, but I'm wondering if fresh pasta at home is a bit better.
The point is, it saves us having to worry about draining the pasta water, doesn't it? So it's definitely a way out. So yeah, thank you for that, Chris and Dion. That's a good little tip. So there we go, chicken with condensed mushroom soup and pasta. Morning, Stephanie.
Morning.
It's Judgment Day.
Aye. See what it brings.
Cross every part of your body you can physically cross.
Well, we just need to make sure they're going to do what we need them to do.
Well, that's it. We've handed over our little home. She's out of our hands and it's all out of our control now. We did clarify what they were repairing this morning, and it is the water cooler, the water leak, and a little diesel leak as well. So that's good. It's both things that we hoped it was. And we've got about 4 hours to kill now. So we'll just have a wander. It's not very nice, but whatever. Like, this feels good, doesn't it? Feels like progress, and hopefully they don't find anything else.
Well, let's just wait and see.
Yeah. She's back.
She's back.
We've got our home back.
Aye.
So we went to the garage. Well, there's nothing else to say. She's fixed.
Yeah. All is well for now.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get too excited and be like, yeah, we're off into the sunset, everything's all great and happy. Because
that's what we want to say, but
it just feels a bit like, no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just be cautious and just be happy that we've got this far. I mean, 3 leaks.
Yeah.
An oil leak, a water leak, and a diesel leak. I mean,
it's been a bit of a roller coaster. This video that you've been watching has taken place for like over a week now, across the whole duration, I think, pretty much. And several garages later, the first fix and the whole thing with the part, which, by the way, did go completely missing, and they've refunded the money. It wasn't much, you know, it was only about €8. That's not the point though, of course. So we did the right thing by going to the VW garage and seeing if they could do it, and yes, everything seems fine. So our oil leak is fixed in the previous garage. The water leak is fixed here by putting the part in that we showed you and talked about, and the diesel leak is fixed as well. So, which
we wasn't entirely sure about.
No.
So I'm glad that's done.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, you know, I know we're a bit nervous because we haven't really driven very far, so we'll see what happens. But for now, it looks like we can salvage something from this trip, and Daisy is repaired. So we can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief for now. For now.
I think we're both a bit tired, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're up early. I didn't sleep very well last night. I just want to have a shower.
Yeah.
Because I stink.
This has been quite a long time. This has been, well, do we even specify? It's been over a week since we showered, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's been a week since we first found the leak. That's when we last showered.
Yeah. Just over a week and a day it's been now. Anyway, with that though, I think we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna end the video here, and we're gonna plan our next moves for whatever we're gonna do for the rest of this trip before we go home.
Aye. So please like, subscribe, push your notification bell thingy, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, thank you for watching. We appreciate all your support, and we will see you somewhere in Germany on the next part of our trip.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.